Hi there! Welcome to a new science class. Today we will talk about living things, vital functions, and behavior. Look at these pictures. Some of them are living things, and some are non-living things. Let's see. Rabbit, tiger, the tree, and the snail are living things. The rocks, the books, the bench, and the brush are non-living things. How can you tell which are living things and which are non-living things? Well, it's easy. You confirm their characteristics. Living things breathe, eat, and reproduce. These are the main characteristics. Non-living things do not breathe, do not eat, and do not reproduce. Look at this new picture. Is it living or non-living thing? Ask yourself, does it breathe? Well, no, it does not breathe. Does it eat food? Of course not. Does it reproduce? No. Then, it is definitely a non-living thing or inanimate object. We said that living things breathe, eat, and reproduce. But they do something else. They interact with other living things. All of these characteristics are called vital functions of living things. Vital functions help living things survive. But not all living things interact the same way. They perform them in different ways. That is what we call behavior. Look at the pictures of the person, the animal, and the plant. They are living things. But is their behavior the same? You know it isn't. Plants cannot move from one place to another, like people or animals do. However, they can make simple movements. For example, carnivore plants move their leaves to catch the insects. Another example is the way plants grow towards the light. So that means that plants breathe, eat, and reproduce. Also they make simple movements. Animals and people also breathe, eat, and reproduce. We behave differently from plants. We can move from one place to another. We are able to see what is happening around us and differentiate colors. Our body responds to changes with the nervous and locomotor system. And we can communicate. Hello, hi. All of these characteristics or behavior allows us to survive. I'm sure from now on, it will be very easy for you to identify a living or a non-living thing. But let's see if these statements are true or false. A tree is a non-living thing. True or false? It's false, of course. A tree is a living thing. Non-living things eat, breathe, and reproduce. True or false? False. Non-living things are inanimate objects, so they do not eat, breathe, or reproduce. Vital functions help living things to survive. True or false? True. They help living things help them notice what happens around them. Let's continue. To breathe, to eat, to reproduce, and to interact are very important things to survive. True or false? Of course, because they are vital functions. Let's go with number 5. Plants, animals, and people behave the same way. True or false? You are right. Totally false. Plants cannot do the same things animals and people do. For example, they cannot move around or go look for food to eat. Six. You are a living thing. True or false? Of course you are a living thing. Totally true. You breathe, you eat, you move around, and you might become a father or a mother when you grow up. Well, that's all for today, kids. It's been a great pleasure for me to be today. See you in our next science class. Bye.
What makes something alive or considered by scientists to be a living thing? Well, we know that air, steel, rock, and water is not alive, but why? Well, there are 8 characteristics of living things that we can define briefly. An organism is anything that has or once had all of these characteristics. As we go through, notice if they apply to you. First, an organism must maintain homeostasis, the process that maintains balance in the body. For example, we sweat in response to heat in order to lower our temperature. Mammals shiver to warm themselves again. Second, an organism must display organization, meaning all of its anatomy directly relates to its physiology, and vice versa. Or, in other words, its shape directly relates to its function. For example, a bird's beak or its feathers relate directly to its function. For instance, feathers help birds stay warm, and they also help birds fly. Our external ears also catch sound waves so they can be amplified in the middle ear. Third, all organisms reproduce to pass on traits to their offspring. They can reproduce sexually or asexually. Fourth, all organisms require energy for all internal processes. Some make their own food, such as plants, and some take in food, like bacteria or amoebas, and also fungi, or humans. Fifth, all organisms must evolve over time. Their adaptations or inherited traits change in populations over time to help species survive. Sixth, all organisms are made of one or more cells. Bacteria and protists, for example, are made of only one cell. And others, like tall redwood trees, are made of trillions of cells. 7, all organisms must grow and develop, meaning that to be defined as a living thing, you must be able to get bigger. And also, as you do, you develop stronger abilities. For example, as an insect grows, it may develop the ability to fly. And finally, the last characteristic of life is that all organisms respond to stimuli, meaning all organisms react to things inside and outside the body, such as when a snake chases a mouse because of its need for food, and the mouse runs away to survive the snake.